Thanks for joining me. This is Danny and welcome back to my Real Tech series. Today we're going to be playing a little bit more with Immersive Engineering because of course in the last episode we did make that factory up there and power plant so that we have enough room to set up our biodiesel. Now in order to do that we're going to need a lot of steel because there's like 4 different machines that we have to make and they all require a fair bit of steel, and right now we've got like maybe 2 stacks, which that might be enough, but it might not be. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. So let's grab about a half a stack of steel. Actually, let's grab exactly 27 steel. And let's do something a little drastic. Let's tear down our blast furnace. This is the crude blast furnace, and you can't do any input-output with the blast furnace. You have to manually put things in here, you have to manually pull them out, with the crude blast furnace that is. That's not the case with the coke oven. We can pipe stuff out of the coke oven. As you can see, I'm piping out the creosote oil, but not enough. We're going to have to do more of that. But obviously, if we want to automate this, well, if we don't want to have to manually pull this out and put it in here all the time, we're going to need to be able to automate it, right? So let's just break this and turn it into an advanced blast furnace, which is this. Or I'm sorry, an improved blast furnace, which is this. And it's basically just the blast furnace bricks with a piece of steel. That's a piece of steel that's flattened with our hammer. 27 steel. We'll take our hammer and boom, we get 27 steel plates. Take our 27 steel plates, 27 blast bricks, like so, and we get 27 reinforced blast bricks. And I've got a hopper right there. And I'm just gonna put this here for now. I actually eventually plan on moving this up into that building right there, but for now it's just gonna be easier to automate it right here. And I want to get onto some other things today to get our biodiesel going, so that we can start generating a little bit more RF than what we're getting from our water mills and such. Oh, actually, I need to stay up there. Crap. Oh, whatever. I guess I'll have to use the ladder. Put the hopper on the top and hit it with the hammer. And ta-da! We lose a torch because I've got torches in my offhand, and it got voided. And there we have it, an improved blast furnace. It looks a little bit more interesting than the other one, and it has input-output. So if I remember correctly, we input on the top, it outputs the steel here, and it outputs the slag in the back. Right, the easy part's done. We can now pipe coal into here. And that will go into our coke oven, or our coke oven, whatever. And we can pipe iron into here. And that will go into our improved blast furnace. Now we're going to want to keep one slot open in the hopper here because we also want to pipe out. This is going to be a little difficult. We're going to need a lot of hopper ducts, I think. Or we could do conveyor belts. But I think I'm going to do hopper ducts just in case we have it over. Hopper ducts are pretty cheap. It's basically just that. They don't pull, but they move things. They move things that get put into them, and they push. Okay, that's a little bit ugly, isn't it? Alright, so one more there, and then as soon as we place this hopper, right, facing that hopper duct, we should see stuff getting pulled out. Okay, yeah, it is. It just looks like there's only one because it's moving. Yeah, and it should be going into here. Hooray! All right, now we have to pull out the slag and the steel. And the other thing we need to do too is place some more tanks here because our coke oven will not produce any more coal coke if it's full of creosote oil. So I made 3 more of these tanks from deep resonance, and they do act as multi-block structures if you place them, as you can see, next to each other. So now we have a lot more. Now we have 64 buckets worth of space there. Nice. Okay. You can just place a chest here and it will pull from it. I believe the same is true up there. I think you can just put a chest up there and it'll pull from the chest. So you don't actually need a hopper there. And here it'll dump the slag. Nice. So this is pretty much fully automated right now. I mean, obviously, we still have to put the stuff in there and pull the stuff out. But, you know, now we can queue up a bunch of stuff. I can put chests on top of these if I want to. And, well, be able to queue up a lot of steel. We are really eating up a lot of iron today. Oh, crap. We just lost our hammer. We're going to need a lot of hammers, too, I think. I need to make 134 sheet metal. So I needed all that sheet metal because I want to make a tank, a large tank that's going to be out there, and 2 silos. The silos each require 50 sheet metal. The tank requires 34, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 34. And I want to put the silos up here. I don't know what how this is gonna look though. So we'll see. The first one is actually going to go right here. I want to put them up here because they're going to be piping stuff right into the machines that are going to be right below them, and I don't want to have to have a big long string of hopper ducts. That and the silo and the tanks are actually the same. Except the silos are taller than the tanks. 6 levels of this. So 1, 2, and then this is 6, and it's going to be closed up here, and I am going to take some fall damage. Yeah, whatever. Oh, I didn't take any fall damage. Hooray! Cool. Sheet metal stash. I set up my tank down here. I've got the 2 silos up there. I think that works. Now we have to change this setup where we basically, this is where our cart is coming in and bringing all of our ores. It's dropping off into the cargo manager, and then this hopper is dropping it onto a conveyor belt that sends it into the crusher. We now are going to be bringing other things up here in addition to ores, actually 2 other things specifically, only 2 things, and that is pumpkins and apples. So my plan just got a little bit more complicated because I forgot one piece. We need to turn the pumpkins into pumpkin seeds, so we're going to have to make this big huge assembler just to do that because there's really no other simpler way to do auto crafting in this pack. Alright, here's the fun part. We get to assemble the assembler. Nice. So we've got 6 scaffolding right on the bottom. We're going to put this guy over here. I'm going to have this over here. I'm going to have our 2 machines for making the oil and ethanol. Yeah, ethanol over here. And then I'm going to have the biodiesel machine that makes the biodiesel over here. So that should work. And we've got the 2 redstone things. And if I remember correctly, there was 2 light engineering blocks in the center. Like to show. Yeah. And then the sheet metal. Wait, is that right? I better double check. No, that's not right, actually. We have sheet metal slabs on top of these. And then I'm stuck. Okay. And run all the way back to my base to get one more. Okay, so then we click on the conveyor. Oh, wait, we need the conveyor belts. We need 1 conveyor belt here. And 1 oh, there it is. What the heck? Oh, okay. My hammer. Darn it. By the way, I kind of forgot about this item. This is the work table from forestry, and it kind of lets you do somewhat sort of auto crafting where you can set up a recipe and it'll remember the last 9 recipes that you've used, and it has an inventory so you can dump the stuff that you normally craft with in there and just keep them in there. I'm actually going to keep that engineering hammer in there and just make a new one. This will be my immersive engineering work table, and then it'll keep my most common recipes from Immersive Engineering, and if you right click on it, it will lock the recipe in place. So otherwise it'll Every time we start a new recipe, it'll put the recipe we just did up here, and it'll save the last 9 recipes we used, and they'll kind of get pushed off as we, oh boy, we need more sticks, as we use them. There. So you can see it stuck it there. FYI, you can use the skyhook in the offhand. Nice. Just have to be careful about what you have in your on hand, in your right hand, because you might end up placing a block or doing something else that you don't want to do. I see what I did wrong. These need to be swapped. This might be a bit of a challenge. I guess I'm going to have to break both of those and then hope that when I place this, that one will pop out. Yay. Okay. That. And that. Whoops. Jeez. I can't place blocks today. And then when we hit the hammer, whatever side we hit is going to become the input. So we can see by the arrow, which is on the other side, I guess. And we'll have to look in through the window. There's an arrow, and the arrow shows the direction. It says IE, Immersive Engineering, and then there's an arrow pointing in that direction. So this is the input, and that's going to be the output. And then if we right-click on it, we will see that we have 3 crafting grids. So we can set up to 3 crafting recipes in here. We only want 1. So what's going to happen with this machine now is, and we might end up actually using this for other things as well in the future. Okay, so it takes it, puts it in its internal inventory. And then once it has power, and it also has tanks too, so you can craft with fluids. But once it has power, it should spit out the seeds on this end. And then what we're going to end up doing is conveyoring those seeds up there. We might have to do kind of a spiral. That could be interesting. And then this is where we're going to pipe in the apples. I'm just going to use medium voltage because this whole place is going to be medium voltage. So no sense in having a bunch of different... let's see. And then I'm going to put a relay because actually, let's see if this reaches. I don't think it's going to reach, but we'll see. What? Why did that hurt? What the heck? Weird. Oh, it does reach. Okay. Nice. But we're definitely going to need some relays in here anyway, so I might end up just doing that. But so now this thing should have power. And you can see there's no pumpkin in there anymore because the seeds are... I don't know where they went. Well, it is a little bit of a mess, but it works. It works. So if I throw a pumpkin here, it's going to come out over here as seeds, and it's going to make its way up to the silo upstairs. And if we look up there, we should see that we have 8 seeds in there now, because there were 4. Hooray! 8 seeds. Okay, nice. And then this is going to be for apples. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a filter. Well, 2 of them. One of them over here. That's basically going to fill out the apples. That's going to filter out the apples. And, in fact, we can just put it right here. Pumpkins on the bottom. Apples on the top. Drop that there. Yeah, that works. And the seeds go up. Yay. Okay. Nice. Anything we put in here will go in the crusher unless it's an apple or a pumpkin. So let's just test that. If we put a piece of iron in here, it should end up in the crusher. Yep, you can hear it crushing. It's going to make crushed iron, and then it's just going to turn it back into an ingot because it's going to put it in one of these guys, but we picked it up. Anything else? I mean, if it's a pumpkin, let's just do, I don't know, 15 pumpkins, and maybe the same number of apples. those should end up going up. Crap. Oh, they did, but they're not. Okay, so the hopper duct doesn't output. Alright, this is working now. I'm definitely going to have to give some thought into how I'm going to make this look nicer, but if we drop pumpkins and apples in there, they do come up. And they go where they're supposed to go. Very nice. So we're filling up with pumpkin seeds, and then the apples should come soon. That's cool. I like that. Definitely a pain to work with, these conveyor belts, but man, once you get them working, they're pretty nice. And then the apples, as we'll see in a second, are going to end up going up here. Definitely not a very clean setup, but it's going to work for now. Nice. Filling up our silos. We will have to keep an eye on these silos though, because if they get full, the conveyor belts won't stop. I guess we can start with the easy one. The pumpkin farm. We want to go from the cargo manager to the storage slots, and then all we have to do is put a detector rail there. An advanced detector rail from Steve's carts. So so now this should work. Apples are going to be a little harder, but I've already basically got it set up. But let me show you what I did. Because I'm having trouble with hopper ducts, or I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with the hopper ducts mod, that it no longer interfaces with any other mods. It really only interfaces with vanilla stuff now. So it's like it's not pulling the charcoal out anymore. I wasn't able to get it to pull apples out of the controller slave. So what I did is I created another drawer. It's still a part of the network for apples, and the storage drawers mod will basically do the filtering for us. So it's only going to allow apples in this drawer because I have it locked using the drawer key. And as soon as it gets any apples, they're just going to get pulled out and dropped onto this conveyor belt. Now I have a lever here so that we can turn this off. So that if our silo starts to get full, we can just shut this thing off and it will keep the apples in this drawer. We've got 7 stacks of apples, so that's actually not very much. We can turn that on and we should see that they're going to start heading off into this cargo manager, which is the one that our cart is going to pick up from. It's the one that our ores get dropped into. Oh, creeper! Oh, creeper! Oh, crap. Alright, I'm out of here. I do not, man, that would suck if a creeper blew up over there. Oh, that would be such a mess. I guess I need more of these powered lanterns. Oh, there it goes, we're missing it. I got all excited about the creeper and I missed. The cart's heading up there now. It's probably dropping off stuff already. I'll just take the skyhook all the way over there, even though it'll cause us a little bit of fall damage. Okay, there it comes. There's our apples. Hooray! Whoa, whoa. Why am I going backwards? What the Oh. How did I get stuck in here? Oh, man. How weird. Now, I should be able to climb down these things, but it never... Yeah, well, whatever. Who cares? Just want to see what it looks like from down here when there's items bouncing around up on top of the roof. Okay. Interesting. Yay, now it's doing the pumpkins. Oh, and more apples because the cart came again. And we can see the seeds are going up. So now we have both up there. Let's see how that looks. Nice. Gotta stay away from that hive. So we're going to make the squeezer first so we can use some of those seeds before they start overflowing up there. We're going to need all these things. 6 steel scaffolding. So we already have the recipe for that. We just click on this and it'll set up the recipe for us. And we're going to need some, steel rods? Yeah. So we'll need to set up that recipe. There we go. And 2 fluid pipes we already have up there. 1 redstone engineering block. We definitely have the recipe for that. Here's our squeezer. That's what it's going to look like. Pause down first level. Okay. Hooray! There's our industrial squeezer. Go from there to there. And from there to there. So we should have power now. Yay! Alright, now we've got to get the seeds in here, and that's going to be a little bit difficult because of those conveyor belts. So I'm just going to use hoppers and hopper ducts. Hopper ducts can go into hoppers, but they can't seem to go into anything else. More connection. And then, alright, let's check. We should have seeds coming in now into our squeezer. Yay, we do. Okay. Now we're going to do the fermenter, which is actually very similar to the squeezer, with a few differences. The bottom layer is exactly the same. So, same thing again. That and the 2 engineering blocks are right there, and the redstone component is right there, and then the scaffolding goes around it. And then the second layer, instead of the wood or the barrels, we have cauldrons. And then sheet metal on top of those. What did I forget? Nope. I thought something was wrong there. This goes on top of the scaffolding. Okay. And then we should be able to hit right there with the hammer, which is already in my hotbar, and hooray! That's so satisfying. And let's hope it reaches. Yay, it reaches. Okay. So we now have power. Now we gotta get the apples in there. Here's the final connection. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, I have to turn that. Did that work? I think that worked. Yes. Okay. I think I'm gonna put blocks there and there. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll use hempcrete there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks from down here. So this thing should be filling up with apples now. Yay! And it's making ethanol. Nice. We've got our a hopper on each end again, just like this one, and then hopper ducts going along. And the reason I'm using hopper ducts and not conveyor belts here is because once this thing gets full, I don't want it to continue the conveyor belts will just continue pulling forever, and then we'll end up with a bunch of items over here. So the hopper ducts, they will eventually fill up, and then they will stop. They will stop pulling from the silos. Final step to making biodiesel is the refinery, and here it is. This one's going to be our biggest one yet. 8 steel scaffolding. And I'm sure we'll be using some of those for our diesel generator when we get to that. Fluid pipes we already have. Our redstone engineering block, did we use? But yes, we did. We used both of those. So the other one we'll be using for our diesel generator. And light engineering blocks, just 2 of them. I gotta make more of these guys. Iron mechanical components. You can actually hit R when you hover over things in this grid, even though the item isn't really there. That's pretty cool. Let's just make 4 of those right away. Okay. And 2 heavy engineering blocks. I think this is the first time we're making heavy engineering blocks. But it will not be the last. Okay, we're going to need electrum. Oh boy. We don't really have very much of that, do we? And pistons. Pistons we have auto crafting over here for, except we need wood planks. Okay. So we'll just throw those in there. And there we go. And then the iron sheet metal. We need a lot of iron sheet metal. 16, because we're going to have 2 big tanks. Okay, so this guy is a 3x5. I'm planning on putting it right up against the wall. We'll be able to access it on the sides. I don't think we need to access the back of this thing. I think all of the input-output is on the sides. Let's pause. Yeah, our input-output is going to be on the sides for the fluids, and then, yeah, okay. So let's bring that down. That looks like a heavy engineering block. That looks like a light engineering block. And then we have pipes going down the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And wait, which I can't remember now. The heavy engineering block was on the front. And I'm pretty sure there were probably 2 of them. There usually are. And then the light engineering on the back. And then, oh, maybe there weren't 2 because we have the tanks on the next level. And the redstone. Oh yeah, and then the scaffolding, which we can climb up. Actually, this scaffolding is useful for climbing too. You can use it. You can actually use it as scaffolding for like when you're building and stuff. Okay. No, I did do that right. Okay, cool. And then the tanks. We basically have 2 tanks. One for the ethanol and one for the, whoops. Oh wait, that might have been right actually. Yeah. One for the plant oil. We hit our hammer right there, and I did something wrong. I forgot the redstone engineering block. It was right there. There we go. Hooray! I have a couple pipes up here, and they're going through the floor on the other side. And we can just pipe everything into the one side. We don't even have to use both sides, so that should be fine. Pipe from here. There we go. So now we should see ethanol being pumped into there. This is like one of the messiest builds I've ever done, I think. Okay. Did that do it? Yep. Okay. We have power. Nice. Probably not enough power, but oh yeah, we're doing okay. And we are creating biodiesel. Hooray! We finally have biodiesel. Nice. Oh, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. Oh, yeah, okay. Our power seems to be keeping up. The last thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to pipe it out into this guy. I think I'm going to have a structure that looks like this coming out of the top eventually, but I'm not going to do that today because I don't have the time. Unfortunately, the output is right there. And we also have a chiseled block here that we're going to have to get rid of. Oh boy. And we have a lamp that's just suspended. So it's going to make for another little messy situation. Yeah, I guess. Oops. What? I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't place on the side that I click. I did not click there. What the heck? Okay, whatever. One more pipe. Yay! So we should see this guy getting filled up now with biodiesel. Whoa. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt if we go down there. Yep, you can see there's a little line at the bottom showing that there's biodiesel in there. Hooray! And actually, if we check up here, we should see that it's producing biodiesel again because it was full. Although we don't have enough apples, we may need to think about another source for ethanol, like a... Okay, it's empty. And it's producing more. So it's filling up the tank as we speak. Nice. My tree farm's running again, and because I basically upgraded this drawer, so we'll be able to get more apples that way. At least that'll be a temporary solution. And I'm gonna get our quarry running again too right away. Our factory is humming. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. Nice. That's cool. I actually picked up a little bit of extra iron too while I was down there, so we may as well get that going too. Oh, and I picked up some iron grit. So everything is working. We've got biodiesel coming in. We're still a little behind on the ethanol, so we'll have to come up with another solution for that. But it might just keep up anyway. Eventually, once it gets caught up. But whatever. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, suggestions, ideas, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do enjoy chatting with you guys, and I do hope you join me for the next episode. And if you did like this, or if you did enjoy this, don't forget to click the like button. Thanks for watching.